start noticing the effects of the colitis? When did it become apparent?
Well, it became apparent really when I was getting ready for that Olympia. I started my diet, and things were just going. The food was just going right through me, and I just didn't know. And Chris Aceto was my nutrition guy.
Okay.
And good friend still, and so we were trying to work our way through it. Thought, sometimes you change your diet abruptly, or you do something different. Things like that can happen, which I get. That's fine. But it just wouldn't go away. So that's when I noticed it. And then looking back, I mean, I can see it in my physique. I can see the symptoms because it's just the upper abs never. I mean, there was no body fat there, but it looked kind of like almost just like a weird watery look. And I can see that in pictures. The difference between even when I won the Arnold to like that shortly thereafter is when I look back and see the difference. So that's looking back. That's what I see. At the time, I really noticed it before that Olympia. And then, like I said, I had to be hospitalized for a night or two or whatever. I never told anybody. I didn't want to tell Weider, obviously. I didn't want to lose my contract. And not that I necessarily would have, but you never know. So that's when I first noticed it. And this got really bad. I was on prednisone and all these crazy things before a show, which is so detrimental, but went through with it. And then that's when I came back, stayed on the medicines, and then it went away to the point where the doctor said, go ahead and get ready for the Arnold. And I was anyway, as far as the training and whatnot. So I did full bore, and then it came back, and then that time the medicines wouldn't work at all.
Was it painful?
Yeah, it was painful. Just like this. It's so hard to explain. When you're not in pain, it's hard to explain pain. But it was just this terrible, just like burning inside. And I mean, not just like heartburn burning. It's painful. And then, on top of that, food's going right through you. So there's literally 30 trips to the restroom a day and things like that. So you can't eat the food. You can't do any of the things you need to do to get ready. And the training, I was training. And what I noticed too was, I forgot to say this, but I was like, what is wrong with me? I kept getting nauseous. I never really got nauseous during training. I mean, I'd had hard workouts where you feel a little bit, but this was to the point where I was really, really nauseous. And it was doing simple things like curls, like anything, exerting myself. So that's when I thought something was wrong. And then when I started my diet, I saw the food was going through. And so
what is it? Is it inflammation of the colon? Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. And then mine got to the point where it was inflamed, and then it started ulcerating. So it started just disintegrating the colon. So now every other commercial you see on TV, at least over here, is a colitis commercial. How we got the drug for it. I tell my wife every time it comes on, I'm like, man, if we'd just had that, I know I'd probably bodybuild for another 4 years or 5 years or whatever. But anyway.
Oh well. So what causes it? Yes, that's why it's done that. So what causes it though? What causes it? Is it?
My family, it's on both sides.
Right.
And so I think it's a genetic thing with me. And I think on top of that, bodybuilding, the diet is every 2 hours you're eating. So I think it doesn't allow your colon to rest. Maybe a normal person who ate 2 or 3 times a day, they would have enough time in between meals that they would be able to, that wouldn't be such an issue, or at least it wouldn't be as acute as mine was. But mine, being a bodybuilder, eating every 2 hours, it just irritated it. And so it got to the point where it just it would never heal up.